What up, everyone? This is SSJ Naraku here, and I'm gonna start doing these weekly comic reviews. Hopefully, y'all enjoy them and all that other good stuff. But anyway, the first comic we're gonna start off with is iZombie issue 2. Now, let me give you some background on iZombie. It's about a girl named Gwen who is a zombie. But the reason you can't tell she's a zombie is because, well, she's a gravedigger, and at night she goes back into the grave and digs up a body. And once a month she eats a brain. And when she does that, it lets her keep her, human form, and it doesn't turn her into, your average zombie. And yeah, basically when she eats the brain, she gets the memories and I guess the voice of the person whose brain she ate, stuck in her head. And this latest person she ate apparently was murdered, and killer got away and everything. So she goes out to solve the crime. And there's a lot of mythical creatures in this book too. I mean, there's vampires. Her best friend is a ghost from like the '60s, and she also has a friend that's a were terrier, which is essentially a werewolf, but instead of a wolf, he becomes a terrier. Anyway, this comic is a good solid issue. Gives you more background on the characters, and good 3 out of 5. Pick up the series. It's pretty good. It's a good series. Anyways, yep, 3 out of 5. Next up, we have Thanos Imperative issue 1. Now, this is basically the latest, event, but this event takes place in the galaxy of the Marvel Universe. This is, the galaxy characters. You have Silver Surfer, the Nova, and of course Thanos, who was recently resurrected. So basically, they're out against the so-called Cancer Universe. That's what it's called. And this is a good solid issue. I mean, it picks up, you know, where the Guardians of the Galaxy last left off, and yeah, it's just a good starter issue. Pick it up if you want a good action issue, and this gets a good 4 out of 5 for me. It's a good comic. Pick it up, y'all. Okay, next up, Irredeemable number 14. Now let me give you a quick background on Irredeemable. The story of this is basically a character known as the Plutonium, who's pretty much Superman of this universe. Decides he turns evil one day and he just destroys tens of millions of people. And he's pretty evil, and this is essentially the story of, the group of heroes he was in, trying to fight back and find out how to kill him. And yeah, but basically this is a good solid issue. Good. I think I'll give this a 3 out of 5. It basically deals with them being imprisoned. Well, not the plutonium anyway, but yeah, it's kind of hard to describe because this is, issue 14. Anyways, if you want, I suggest y'all pick up the back issues. I mean, this is a really good comic, and this issue right here gets a good 3 out of 5. All right, next up we have Brightest Day, issue number 3, and as you can see, I put the variant cover because I just thought the variant cover was badass. But anyway, this is a really good issue. I mean, the story's starting to pick up a little more because a lot of people have been saying it's gone slow, and I kind of agree. And I also agree that there's just a lot going on at once. I mean, but yeah, all in all, every character's little story was good so far, and of course, I love the Dead Man versus Anti-Monitor. I mean, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, other than that, then we also get like a little mystery in the Bermuda Triangle, halfway through this comic, which was, caught my eye. I really want to see what that's going to take us. But overall, this was a really good issue. I'll give this one a 3.5 out of 5. Really good issue. Pick it up. I mean, bi-weekly comic. It's only $2.99, and it's worth your money. That's all I have to say. 3.5 out of 5. All right, next up we have Invincible issue 72, and wow, this comic was fucking badass. I mean, if you just want a comic that's just action, not only just badass action, but good dialogue and a good story, this is a comic for you. I mean, although I do warn you. I mean, this issue, particularly at the end too, gets really, really bloody. I mean, I was like, wow, what the fuck. But all in all, it's even though it was bloody, I do believe it was in good taste. I mean, they made it really dramatic, that little ending in this comic. I won't spoil nothing, but all in all, fucking awesome comic. This gets a 4 out of 5. I mean, go pick it up right now. Seriously. Alright, and last but not least, of course, we have the Superman Batman Annual #4, starring Batman Beyond. Yes, Batman Beyond returns once again in this comic, and it actually continues from the cartoon. So if you were a fan of the cartoon like I was, you can pick this up and pretty much go, and you don't need an explanation or nothing. And even if you didn't watch the cartoon, you know, for whatever reason, this is still a good comic. I mean, you can pick it up, and it pretty much explains itself. It deals with the metropolis of his time, which pretty much has gone to shit due to a really old ass Lex Luthor. And as you remember, Superman was under the control of Starro for like ever. But yeah, all in all, it's a good read. Good to see Batman Beyond. And it's also a really good thing that this comic ends on its own. They don't kind of like try to push the new Batman Beyond comic that's going to come out, I think, in a couple months or next month. Can't remember. So that way, if you read it and didn't like it, you don't have to rush and pick up the series to finish what happens. But all in all, if I had to pick a comic of the week, which I'd say I don't, because I don't know why I don't like doing comic book picks of the week, but if I would, this would be it. I mean, it's a hell of a good comic. I give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, it's awesome. It was a really good read. It's a double-sized comic, so it'll cost you $5, but it's worth it. All right, thanks and take care, y'all.